Hello, welcome to Chef Ava Marie Happy Hour podcast. I am your host, Chef Ava Marie. Today we have a very special culinary guest to talk about food allergies today. She is the author of Chinese Instant Pot cookbook and the blogger of Nut Free Walk, and she is here to talk about the on food allergies that people need to be aware of. So I'm proud to introduce this lovely lady, and she's a dear friend of mine, Bay Area local Sharon Wong. Are you there, Sharon?
Hi,
Okay.
thank you so
Hello,
much.
Sharon. How are you?
Good, thanks. Hi, how are you? So nice to see you.
You too. How you been?
I'm doing great. Yeah,
Welcome to the
how's the
pod.
summer? Okay, thank you. So nice of you to invite me. It's such an honor.
You're welcome. So, what made you start your cooking at a young age? And what made you start food allergies? Your blog.
Well, my mom wanted me to learn how to cook when I was really little, but even before that, I started learning how to cook as soon as I could read. Like my dad used to subscribe to magazines, and I would
Oh
click
yeah.
out the little recipes. And I don't know if you remember, but there used to be these little labels on canned goods, and they say, "Oh, if you
Oh
click send
yeah.
in the UPC labels, they'll send you a cookbook." I was always into that. So always
Oh
into
yeah.
clipping recipes and things like that. So
Me
um,
too.
it was fun,
And
funny
where did you
hobbies.
learn? Not just that. Did you have any culinary training? Or no?
I did not. I did not. I just learned how to cook from my mom and my dad,
Yeah, I
and
did get to
cookbooks.
culinary training, and I did with two high school culinary arts from my high school high El Camino. So I'm just, but
Nice.
I am, yeah. So we got to have something. So,
Yes, yes. I remember when our my middle school used to have a cooking segment in our econ class.
oh,
Home ec, so much fun, and it was the first time I ever learned how to make chocolate chip cookies.
oh, good,
Yeah, it was really great.
good. I first met you at the San Francisco Garden Show along with my best friend Rebecca Evans.
That's right.
You would address food allergies, and I think you did some kind of garden, some vegetables. And how did the
That's right.
audience look up to you? And what made you did start your blog on Nut Free Walk? And what made you audience react?
Well, at that particular cooking demonstration, they were very receptive and very kind, and I really appreciate them. And I remember one mom coming up to me and asking me, how do you make your children like be interested in eating vegetables and, to try different foods? And
Yeah.
my advice to her was to, try different things and just
Yes.
ask the children to like have a little sample, and I told her that one of the little tricks is to make sure that you have them try the sauce, because
Yeah.
sauce is so yummy, right? And so that's just one way to get all the flavors, to get them all engaged in trying different things.
Yeah, that's true because
Hmm.
I always encourage my nephews and nieces to try different colors, but
Hmm.
they always
Hmm.
don't do that. They're always picky, you know?
That's okay. I mean, I think that even for us, we probably have our own preferences
Yeah.
and likes and dislikes, and it takes a few tries to
Yes, that's
eventually
right.
to like something. And then in terms of like how did I get started? I guess I had a lot of food allergy mom friends, and they were always
Mm.
asking me like, "Sharon, you're Asian, you're Chinese, how do you make Chinese food to make it safe for your
Yeah.
children?" And so then I realized that there was a really big demand for just more information and more knowledge. And I love it that people are interested in my culture's food. And so I'm really happy to, be like a Rosetta Stone to kind of help people to interpret, like,
Wow.
this is the recipe, and these are ingredients you need, and this is how you figure out if it works for your food allergies or not, and how to
Yes.
make it safely, how to adapt it. So, like, if you're allergic to soy, how do you make like a stir fry
Yeah.
that normally would require soy sauce? And so just kind of learn how to like find
Yeah.
alternative ingredients or to make your own soy-free soy sauce. That's a really good example.
Okay. Before I get to about my family members,
Hmm.
I am part of a Latinx community. How do you represent the Asian American community in the food world? And how can you address others with food allergies to be represented? And I'm also an autistic chef. So,
Hmm.
what to be yourself? What can you tell others about what you do as a foodie?
Um, that's a really, really good question. And I think that for me personally, uh, there are certain holidays that I feel are very challenging for my children to participate
Mm,
in fully. Like, for example, Chinese New Year, right?
yeah.
There's like so much food
Oh,
involved, and some of it involves nuts or not nuts. And I feel like I ended up
sad.
hosting a lot of our holidays because of food
Me is
allergies. I wanted to make
Christmas.
sure,
Yeah.
right, right. So I wanted to be sure that our food was safe. And but some of the traditional recipes for, like, say, for example, Chinese New Year, since I'm Chinese, or Lunar New Year, if you're, just which is generically true for a broader audience. Um, I had to figure out, like, what are the special dishes that are associated with Lunar New Year, and how do you make it? How do you adapt it? And so, like, I make it a challenge for myself to come up with one new recipe every year so that I can fully embrace our culture and still make something that's safe and easy to adapt for our kids.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a great point because you just it's fun to cook with the families and make it new again, and everyone
Yeah.
feels happy at the party. You know.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And we find that, okay, one is really great to really understand the cultural context, and to cook in traditional ways. But then, we also live in a different time now,
Oh
and
yeah.
so where people are adapting traditional recipes and modernizing them and making them more interesting or more suitable to the ingredients that you have available,
Hmm.
or
Oh
incorporating
yeah.
new equipment, or new tools that we have that, like, for example, my grandmother probably would not have had an instant pot, right?
No, a
But
slow cooker. Yeah.
that, well, not even a slow cooker, they had a wok.
Oh
Or a
yeah.
steamer basket, right? They would have or a clay pot, very traditional cooking appliance utensils, not or cooking apparatus, not even an appliance, right? And so I think that I still want to uh, respect the food culture, and also be able to make it in a way that is suitable for our lifestyle, our very, very busy, hectic lifestyle. How can you make something that takes a long time in less time, or how can you make it
Yeah.
in a more energy efficient way, right?
Okay. My mom and my brother are severely allergic to shellfish, the most
Hmm.
leading food allergy in the country, other than peanuts. How can you help people with food allergies change the way we cook? I lay, I actually have a bunch of creative dishes, but everyone is so fussy and food ends up in a waste. Any thoughts?
Mm. Well, I think that the most important thing, yeah, for everybody who has a food allergy or thinks that they might have a food allergy, is to talk to their doctor.
Okay.
And and make sure that you have a proper diagnosis from an
Hmm.
allergist, and so that you can either eliminate the possibility that you have an actual food allergy, and in which
Yeah.
case that's such a great relief, right? But if you have a confirmed diagnosis, then that is also really important to people's safety and well-being, because then they'll like have life-saving epinephrine
Yeah.
auto injectors prescribed. They'll have an emergency action
Yeah.
plan so that they know what to do in an emergency. They'll learn how to keep themselves safe.
Yeah.
And so, you are an awesome sister and daughter to care about food allergies and to
Yeah.
care about, your family members' food allergies. And
Hmm.
so, the way that we can change how we cook so that our loved ones are safe is to, one, recognize that food allergies are very life threatening and very
Yeah.
serious, and that we start with cooking with ingredients that are safe, like free from cross contact, free from with allergens, and so basically, you could try and buy products like box something or can something
Oh,
and use
yeah.
those. Yeah, you could use that, but you have to also make sure you read the labels
Oh,
carefully.
yeah.
And then, if it has an allergen advisory that says made on shared equipment or made in the same facility as
Hmm.
something, that
Like nut
you,
free. Yeah.
yeah, that you follow up with the manufacturer to see if the risk is actually real. And if there's no allergen advisory, that doesn't mean that it's allergen safe. It just means that they didn't disclose the allergen advisory because that's voluntary.
Hmm.
So then you have to kind of take a bigger picture and see if there's any additional risks. Like, do they make a flavor that contains the allergen in it? Like, for example, like say salad dressing. So,
Yeah.
let's say you find this carrot and ginger salad dressing. I'm like, that looks yummy. But then if they carry like a peanut butter salad dressing, then the carrot ginger salad dressing might have peanuts in it through cross
Yeah.
contact. Right. So you never know. So you have to really kind of think about this a little bit and just be aware that there's always cross contact risks. And so, really, people with food allergies may find it safer to cook from scratch, but sometimes it's not practical.
No.
Sometimes it's not. So then you kind of have to be more proactive about, reading those labels and checking to make sure that it's safe.
That's a
And
good point because
mhm,
listen, if you hear these, read the labels like Sharon said, because
mhm,
even for Costco shops, I work at a Costco,
mhm,
because you always got to read the labels for allergies. Like,
yes,
she's right
absolutely.
about that. That's right. So just read
Mhm.
the labels, guys.
Yes, absolutely. And there are certain manufacturers that are like very, very supportive and very helpful, and they would say, free from whatever allergens,
Hmm.
and then there truly are. But sometimes, if you look at the label on the front side, it will say like nut free or dairy free,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
if you look in
Or
the
vegan.
back, it'll say made on shared equipment with dairy or made on shared equipment with nuts. In which case, it's not truly nut free, right? There's a little tiny risk that they've they're highlighting the little risk, and they're also saying making another claim, so it's contradictory. So you really have to be super careful and proactive
Okay.
about that. But for home cooks and for people like that are sharing food, like say at a potluck or something like that, it's really important to be careful about where do those spoons and cooking utensils go. Because if you're making one dish with eggs and that spoon goes into the vegetable pot and the rice pot and the meat pot, the same spoon goes into all the different pots, then you've created a situation where there's like tiny traces of egg in the different
Hmm.
pots. And so, or even like at a potluck, right? Or a shared meal where if somebody's mixing up the serving utensils, then that can create a problem for somebody who has a very serious food allergy.
Okay. So
Hmm.
here, that award-winning cooks, just it could cost contamination. So that's what you need to be aware of. So these
Yeah.
are very important tips. So hear
Yes.
that from
Hmm.
Miss Her Nutfee Walk herself. So thank you for
Thank
that.
you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ava. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. But another question is, climate change is real, and you approach introducing food waste into your while you address food allergy needs?
I totally do. I totally do. And one of the things that I do is I actually try to grow some of our own foods.
Hmm.
And it's not always easy
Yeah,
because because of climate change, I'm finding it harder and harder to grow my own food because when
yeah,
we get less rain or there are fewer bugs to
oh
pollinate our
yeah.
plants and it's too hot, all of those issues make it super hard to grow my own food, but I still try. I still try because then I know exactly what's in the food and I know, and there's also, it's also fun and there's a lot of satisfaction in doing that. The other thing that I do is uh, oh, and also I wanted to say that growing your own food when possible also decreases the issues with
Yeah.
climate change because it involves less transportation and less
Yes.
pollution in transporting the food around. And so
Yeah.
that is definitely something to consider if you're able to grow your own food. The other thing that I do is I compost everything. Like I compost like all of our food scraps in our yard. We have a compost
Yeah.
bin and then we use that. We spread that around and that actually significantly boosts our yields and the quality of the food that we grow at home. It actually
Good.
really, really helps. And whatever we can't compost in our backyard recycling or get backyard compost, I put it in our citywide compost. And I think that that's still really valuable, even though we may not benefit from making the compost. It reduces the amount of garbage that goes into
Yeah.
landfills, and it reduces the carbon emissions and all the all the so anyways, it does help the environment.
Yeah.
And in terms of like climate change, I recently learned that from Dr. Kari Nadeau, she's like one of my favorite doctors that
Hmm.
went from Stanford to Harvard, and she is actually studying about the effects of environmental sciences on allergy. And I, of course, I want to say that I don't speak for her and I don't represent her at all, but I'm just really amazed and grateful for her work
Hmm.
because with climate change we are learning that it may actually have an effect on our skin because it's too dry, too hot, we might get sunburned, and that may be actually associated with an increased risk of getting food allergies. And
Yeah.
so whatever we can do to improve climate change will actually improve our likelihood of avoiding food allergies. Because once you
Yeah.
get food allergies, it's so life changing and can be so challenging and so difficult. So preventing food allergies is a good thing. And doing whatever we can to support climate change initiatives and even making the smallest changes that we can make a difference.
That means you guys eat more vegetables by,
Hmm.
especially with climate change. Just do it. And it's
Hmm.
so much
Hmm.
fun to eat. I love eating vegetables. It's fun, you
That's
know?
right. That's right. And like if you were going to eat any animal base or fish base or whatever
I don't
proteins,
care, but it's just
yeah, just
seriously.
just just make more climate friendly choices, right?
Hmm.
Or eat less, or eat more plants and eat less meat.
A
Just do whatever you
variety.
can. Yeah, some more variety, right? Exactly.
Okay. Congratulations on the Food Blogger Awards. And I have won many food competitions, including the World Food Challenge. Tell us more about the Blogger Award.
Thank you so much. It's so exciting. I was so surprised to win this award. It was an award by from this organization called Menu Trinfo, and they're a company that I really admire and respect. And what they do is they uh, uh, give allergy certifications to different companies, and they help them to become more allergy friendly, or they will do trainings at restaurants and
Mm,
schools and like universities on how to support their clients who have food allergies, and so
That's
they're doing
fantastic.
amazing work. Yeah, so I'm really honored that they recognize my work as, being as a blogger, as being valuable to the community.
Good. I heard you have a cookbook, and tell us more about the cookbook and where people could purchase it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So last year, I authored a cookbook called the Chinese Instant Pot Cookbook. It's 60 recipes using an instant pot to cook Chinese food, and most of the recipes are pretty easy, and some of them are a little bit more complicated, but very traditional. And uh, like 99% of the recipes are nut free. There are very few recipes that require dairy, and most of the recipes that involve other top allergens like eggs or fish or shellfish, they're like easy to isolate, or you can try subbing with a different protein or something like that. So, whenever
Yeah,
possible, I would include like how do you adapt the recipe to suit your needs.
that's my doggy. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can order this book through Amazon, but it's also available at Target and Barnes and Noble. And I want to give a little shout out to Omnivore Cookbook in San Francisco. They were
Oh
so
wow,
nice to carry my cookbook there too.
that's fantastic.
Yeah, they're so nice. Check it out. If your readers or your viewers have not heard, is a cookbook in San Francisco that specializes in selling only cookbooks. Isn't that
Wow,
cool?
that's
Isn't that
cool. In
cool?
San
Yeah.
Francisco, is
Mhm.
that in a bad neighborhood, the Omnivore Books, or is it in a good neighborhood? Just want to
I
know.
think it's in a pretty interesting neighborhood. It's it's like really close to, I think, oh, I forget the name of that neighborhood. But when we walked around, we felt really safe and comfortable. And
Okay.
yeah, but as in any situation in San Francisco, it's always good to be situationally aware.
Oh yeah, because
Anywhere.
yeah, like and tenderloin. Yeah,
Yeah, just stay aware, don't leave anything in your car, that kind of thing.
to be around surroundings. That's what my
Mhm.
coworker told me. Yeah. So,
Mhm. Mhm. Right. Mhm.
do you have any new Konya ideas in the works in the world of nutfeed walk blogging experiences?
Um, well, I am always thinking about making dim sum. I don't know.
Of
Do you
course
like
you
dim sum?
do.
Do you like
Do you
dim
have
sum?
any cookbook projects?
Yeah, I love dim sum. And so, if I'm going, that's what floats my boat. That's what gets
But
me super excited. I'm like, I want to make more dim sum.
it's got to be food allergy, though. I know.
Yeah,
There's Palace Tea Garden in San Mateo. It's really good, and I
it is
always wanted to
delicious.
try that place.
Hmm.
With my
Hmm.
dad.
Hmm.
Have you been there?
I have been there. It's quite delicious. It has a little bit more of a modern fusiony kind of style where they don't do like super traditional dim sum, but
Oh,
they mix it up a little bit. So it's interesting
yeah, it's cool
and
because it's right.
delicious. Hmm.
Because I went to the Pete Lee concert in that neighborhood, at Hillsdale Mall, and
Hmm.
it was
Hmm.
by he performed there at the Hillsdale Strip. And
Hmm.
it was a great
Hmm.
experience. I actually have footage of it on my social
Hmm.
media.
Hmm.
And what
That's
best?
awesome.
Yeah, it was on a
Hmm.
Fallon show a few times.
Oh, okay, okay, that's awesome. And how
Yeah,
about you, Ava? What are you up to these days?
just hosting this show.
Hmm.
And also just cooking some recipes.
Okay, good. Tell me about your book. Did you write a book recently? Or are you
No,
working on
but I'm
this thing?
actually just competing, and I'm actually teaching a class at Drager's.
Oh, right. That's pretty awesome.
Got a
Which
gig.
campus? Which store? Are you teaching in
San
San
Mateo
Mateo? Oh, nice. Good for you.
just made an official announcement. Yes,
Uh-huh.
just on my socials.
Oh, that's exciting. I love the Drager's cooking classes, so I'm so glad that you're working with them.
Thank you. It's only
Mm-hmm.
it's for the holidays, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
well, thank you for coming on the show. You were the great coming on, And we
Oh,
hope you were so great. So thank you.
thank you. Thanks so much for having me. It's really fun to catch up with you and to talk to you a little bit about what's going on these days. And, definitely, remind everybody to carry their EpiPens or their OVQs or whatever EPIs that they
Oh
need to
yeah,
use, and read those labels.
that's right. So thanks for
Hmm.
coming on, and
Hmm.
there she goes. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye bye. And then there she goes. Are you okay? Yeah.
Oh, I'm good. Good. I think it still says live on my screen.
Yeah. If you
Okay.
go, you're supposed to log off, and then
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Okay, I'll log off. Bye. Take care.
you too. And then she goes. So anyway, there she goes. So anyway, so that was a great show with an Enough Free Walk blog. So tune in tomorrow, guys, as we have a very special edition of Chef Ava Marie Happy Hour podcast with South San Francisco Public Library and South San Francisco Park and Rec as we welcome these free officials on the show. So tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Central. So see you then. Bye.